Hi, my name is Chef Jason. I'm here with ZURISADAI. We're going to be cooking a summer pasta for you. We're going to begin with a whole wheat spaghetti. We're going to be dropping this into a boiling water. We're going to first take our kosher salt, flavor our water, of course. You've got to have the salt in the water before you cook. We'll bring this up to a boil. And we'll pop that in and we'll start with our preparation of the vegetables.
Hi, Chef Jason.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good.
So, what are we doing today? What is this lovely setup you have here?
We're going to do a little summer pasta. We got a little pecorino cheese. This is a classic sheep's milk cheese from Italy. We got a little organic baby spinach.
Yum.
Some fresh grape tomatoes. A little red onion. We'll add a little garlic. We're not going to use all that. But we got a little seasonings over here. Salt, pepper, garlic, a little crushed red pepper. And we're going to put it all together, do a little saute. We've got some pancetta and some turkey sausage that we're going to use. So we go ahead and grab that.
That sounds lovely. So, I have a question. When would a dinner such as this be served? Or would you do it for a family occasion? Would it be a nice little romantic dinner with a loved one? When would something like this be brought up?
You know, this is a really light dish, but flavorful. I would definitely do it to impress a romantic evening. Definitely.
Oh, a special someone. Okay.
A little wine involved as well.
Okay.
Okay, so what we want to do is we want to start off by browning this delicious turkey sausage. And once we get that going, we'll put that in. We'll get that working. We'll come back to the cutting board and we'll dice up some pancetta, which is an Italian pork belly that's been rolled and cured. A little on the salty side, but flavorful almost. So we'll start with a little dice of that.
What kind of texture does the pancetta have once it's cooked? Because it looks really soft.
Yeah, it'll crisp up just like bacon. Absolutely. It's just a more flavorful, maybe a little more salty than bacon.
Okay.
So we'll crisp this up as
Is
well
this
as...
something typical in like an Italian dish, or is this something just, it's here, use me?
You know what? You can use this in Italian, definitely. It's most related to Italian cooking, but absolutely it's become more popular, and you can use bacon in just about any dish.
That is very true. That is very true.
So we'll just give this a quick dice. We'll get that going. Our turkey sausage is browning. We'll leave that alone for a little bit. We'll go ahead and drop our whole grain pasta into the water. That's about ready.
Now, is whole grain something you generally go for, or is it just because
It's not made from semolina, so naturally it's going to be a little bit healthier, a little bit lighter.
So what is semolina for those at home that don't know what that is? Why are we choosing whole wheat over white pasta?
Whole grain is, like I said, it's just a little bit healthier. These days everybody's a little health conscious, so tend to use whole grain, and it adds another color to your dish as well.
Yeah, we already have a beautifully colored dish so far by our ingredients.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got that going. We got our sausage going. And we'll flip our board not to cross-contaminate.
Awesome. Okay. So I have one more question.
Yes.
For our sausage, what's our cooking time on that? Because it's already beginning to smell amazing.
You know what? You just want to brown it off, and typically you want to just brown it on both sides, and then go ahead and finish it in the oven for about 15 minutes until it's fully cooked all the way through.
So the cooking of itself is not done there. So what are we doing with the garlic?
I'm just crushing a few whole garlic cloves, and then I'm just going to mince them. We're going to throw that into the dish right after we brown the pancetta. We'll throw this in so we don't burn the garlic.
Is this for the sauce? Is this for...
It somewhat makes a sauce, but this is, like I said, this is a lighter pasta. It's going to be more of a paste.
Okay, cool.
We'll give this kind of a rough chop.
Got the nice little mincing action going on. See? I can't mince like that. Are we gonna do the same with the little tomatoes and the onion, or
We'll cut the tomatoes in half. We'll mince the red onion, and then we'll toss it all together. Got a little browning action over here. What you want to do is put a nice sear on the sausage. So after you put the sausage in the oven, it holds the juices in that much more.
Is there a particular method to do that? Do you recommend
Under high heat.
oil or
High heat, no, you know what? It has enough fat content in it to go ahead and brown itself. Kind of similar to when you throw bacon in the pan. It's got a little bit of fat, so it's really going to release itself from the pan. We got about 5 more minutes on the pasta and the sausage. We'll move this aside, put this back, and then we'll go and move on to the tomatoes. So those might take a few minutes. Helps to be neat and orderly when you're in the kitchen, most definitely. Clean as you go.
yes?
Take the little tomatoes, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Take the little knife and we'll just half those.
Oh, they're such cute baby tomatoes.
Yeah, these are called grape tomatoes.
Look at how beautiful these are.
It's good for a summer dish. It's nice and light. You're not doing a heavy marinara sauce or a meat sauce. This is more of a flavorful, light dish. Okay, so this light summer dish, I mean, it's going to leave your guests with something flavorful, but not to where they're going to want to sit around the house and they can't get up. This is going to be a refreshing meal that's light and flavorful. Now that I've browned off the sausage, I'm just going to transfer that to the oven. We're going to finish that there. We're going to take our pasta out, we're going to drain that. And then we're going to put this whole thing together.
Yum.
Okay, so we're going to finish these off at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes until they're fully cooked. And then we'll bring them back out, we'll let them rest, and we'll slice them up.
Yum. So, I have a question.
Absolutely.
What does it feel like to have someone following you around in the kitchen right now? I feel like I'm your little puppy.
I love it. I love for anybody to get interested in cooking. This is my passion.
Yes.
So this is what I love to do, and I love to talk. So cooking, talking.
Ooh, you're gonna be my best
It's all
friend.
good. So
You are definitely gonna be my best friend. Cooking, talking, and letting me watch him follow you like a puppy. Right on.
So we drained the pasta now. We're gonna let this sit and rest for a few minutes. Pasta's al dente.
What does that mean? What?
Al dente is a term used in cooking that it's firm to the touch. So you want a little bite in your pasta because once again we're going to take this back. We're going to go back to the stovetop with it and we're going to heat it over again. So you don't want your pasta to be mush. You want it al dente. Now we're going to move on to the pancetta. We're going to brown that off. Yeah, we're going to crisp up the pancetta in a hot pan for about 4 to 5 minutes until it gets crispy. We'll drain off a little bit of the fat.
Do you throw that in it by itself? Is that again?
We'll start this by itself, and then after that we will add the onion, and then we'll come back and we'll add the garlic as well. Toss that around, let it get a little bit soft, and then we'll finish the dish with the fresh spinach and the pecorino cheese.
Oh, that sounds amazingly delicious. You're already making me hungry.
Okay, so we'll move on. A little diced red onion will be the next ingredient. So what you want to do with onion, the best way to do that is just go ahead and cut the ends off. Make a slice cut into the skin, and then we'll just peel it off really easily.
Is that just to remove the exterior surface of it, or is that just sanitary measure?
That is the easiest way to get down to business.
Okay.
Cut that in half. And we'll start with a dice. have to be specific or scientific. We just want to get it into a dice.
See, because I do it the other way around. That's why I'm fascinated with these kind of
The
different
thing is when
methods.
you get more uniformity in your pieces, it's the more quickly that it cooks. So hence the smaller the piece of onion, the faster it's going to cook. The larger piece, it's going to take a little longer to cook. Okay, so we've got that diced up. And I hear our pancetta calling us. We got a quick stir. If you get on too high of a heat or things are moving too fast, don't be shy to just knock it down a notch.
Let's bring it back down to level, huh?
Yeah, when you're working with gas, things are cooking fast. Okay. So, the next step in this dish, we're going to add the garlic. We're going to throw in our onion. We're going to let that sweat for a little bit, for about 5 minutes. Cook that down till it's soft. We'll throw in the tomatoes. Finish with the spinach and the cheese.
Now, is there a reason, like, once we combine these three elements together, is there a reason why we're going to combine them and let it sweat? Is it just for the flavor?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All the flavor you can get out of it. Then we're going to season it once we're all done.
These onions are already making me cry. See, you would think it's be the chef being a mean chef, but it's not. It's the onions.
Yeah, the onions tend to be a little bit stronger. There's a few tricks, but I didn't take the time to refrigerate the onions.
So what would be some tricks that you recommend for people like me who have sensitive eyes and turn into crybabies?
I would suggest there are a few tricks to the trade. You can refrigerate the onion, or you can peel them and soak them in ice cold water. Right now I'm going to throw in a little bit of splash of olive oil, and that's just because the fat content, I can see it's not crisping up fast enough. So I'm throwing a little bit of olive oil, kind of as a kickstarter, get it going.
If you guys could smell how amazing this smells right now, you guys would be in heaven.
I think everybody likes bacon.
You'd be surprised. I'm actually not I'm not a bacon person.
No pancetta.
No, I'm fine with pancetta.
I absolutely love bacon. It's so universal, flavorful. It adds a lot of flavor to any dish you choose.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're going to let that get a little bit crispier, and then we'll be ready for the next ingredient. We'll be ready to toss it all together.
Ooh, we get to mix all the colorful.
And our pasta is good. Throw that back into the pot.
Is there a particular method of knowing when your pasta's done? Like, if you don't want to do it al dente, if you want to cook it all the way through, would there be a specific time limit you expect for our viewers to know?
10 minutes.
Yeah,
rule of thumb is 10 minutes unless you've got a really thin pasta.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to go ahead and throw in our onions.
It's time to stir it all up.
It is. Okay. Next up is our friend, garlic.
Now you say our friend. Why is garlic our friend?
Garlic and onions, I believe, are just add so much flavor to a dish. If we didn't have garlic and onions, we'd be lost.
I completely agree about that.
We'll give that a quick toss. Now the thing you want to really be careful here is the salt content. No, not to burn it, of course. But the salt content of the bacon. So you don't want to oversalt your food because when you throw this all together, that saltiness of the bacon is going to play out.
So do you even have to additionally add salt, or for people who have a low sodium intake, would you leave out the salt because of the bacon?
Add a little bit of salt. I'm not saying it's going to overpower the dish, but absolutely you're going to season it to your own taste. So we'll go ahead and we'll throw in the tomatoes. Let those get going.
That looks beautiful.
Let that go for about 3 minutes before we get ready to wilt our spinach and do our cheese.
To wilt our spinach?
Wilting spinach is just a term where you just barely heat it because spinach is so delicate. It's very delicate. So any amount of heat to spinach will immediately wilt it.
Now, are we going to do that in butter? Are we going to do that in oil? Are we going to do it in the same?
It's going to go right in there. Yeah, this is basically a one-pot dish, except for taking our sausage out and slicing that and adding that also.
So it's versatile. It smells delicious and it's versatile. So, what are we going to do with the cheese?
The cheese is going to be the late addition with the spinach, so those two are going to go in together because the cheese will melt quickly, the spinach will wilt quickly. I'm going to toss that all together with the pasta. It's a really light dish.
That smells so good, guys. That smells so good.
So at the very end is where we want to season. When we add the pasta, we want to season. We'll season with salt, pepper, and a little tad of the red pepper flake to kick it up a notch.
Now, does the red pepper, is that added to balance out the flavor? Is it just for that extra?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just grate a little bit of this pecorino. Get ready. And pecorino also has a little salt content. It's similar to Parmesan, a little zestier, a little sharper. It is a sheep's milk cheese.
Now, will that melt like mozzarella, or will that just stay as a whole?
It will melt.
Put it in?
It will melt. It's similar to a Parmesan, though, when you're thinking of a hard cheese. That's about enough of that.
That looks really good.
Toss. And that's all. So, we'll grab a little bit of this whole wheat pasta. Right over. Now when you get a sense that this might be a little on the dry side for you after you give it a toss, like I said, this is more of an olive oil based kind of sauce, something light.
Oh,
it's up to each personal preference. So right now, I would leave it alone. And then what we'll do is we'll wilt this spinach. Turn off the heat.
Now, is that supposed to be like covered, uncovered?
Uncovered. We're just going to toss it. And just by the heat alone, the spinach will cook.
That is such a beautiful dish.
Thank you.
I could definitely see this during a lovely romantic little dinner.
The little wine?
Yes. So, what kind of wine would you recommend? A little red wine, a little white wine, something sweet, something bitter?
We're talking for you or for the chef?
Oh, either or. Take
now
your
the
pick.
chef is going to deglaze with a Kendall Jackson Chardonnay.
Okay.
So there will be a little bit of wine in the dish. Okay. So it kind of brings together the onions, the garlic, the tomatoes. So when you get close to the end like this, you go ahead. A little bit of Chardonnay, and don't be shy. Usually you want to take things off the heat so that they don't jump. Okay. Since we've already got all of this in there, all the flavors in there. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take that sausage out of the oven. We're going to let it rest. We'll slice it, and we'll put it in the dish, toss it in the dish, and serve.
Okay. What would you recommend as a side dish, like to drink with alongside that? Would you?
I would do Chardonnay also.
Chardonnay?
Something nice and light. Absolutely. And we're done.
Oh, you guys, aside from it looking so pretty, it smells amazing. Like, I think if anyone takes this as a nice little romantic dinner, you're definitely gonna have a winner. Definitely. Now, why are we doing that at the last moment? Like, why?
That's just the finishing touch. Absolute finishing touch. That is it.
Is that for? Do we add texture? Do we add just
add
to make
a little
it look pretty?
Yeah, it's absolutely it's a garnish as well as a little flavor enhancement.
That looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So, do we get to take out?
Yep, we are going to take out the sausage. I think it's about that time. But we are going to have to let the sausage rest for a minute. The reason why you let it rest, you don't want to cut it right away because all the juices will seep out.
Okay.
So
We don't want messy.
any good chef is gonna know you gotta let your meat rest. So bring your meat out, you set it on the cutting board, and you let it rest for about 5 minutes. And keep all those juices inside, and then
You read my mind.
you slice it. Okay, now that our turkey sausage has rested, we're gonna go ahead and slice it. We'll plate up.
I have to be very honest with you and say that it's been a delight to be able to assist you right now. I remember being a little girl cooking with my grandparents, and my grandparents explaining to me what to cook and how to do it, and just thinking to myself, I want to do that. I want to cook one day and pretend like I'm the one that's doing it. And even playing like with my little cousins, like they used to pretend that they were the chefs, and I used to film around and go around interviewing them.
Well, maybe I'm gonna inspire you to get in the kitchen more often then.
Oh, I love the kitchen. I don't know if I could do it for a profession.
Yes, it's definitely not the glamorous profession. It is definitely a lot of hard work. So we're going to go ahead and just plate this up real simply. Try to get a little bit of each ingredient in there.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
We plate up about, 4 to 6 ounce portion for everybody. And then we'll add that turkey sausage onto the side just to bolster it up a little bit.
That is amazingly beautiful. That looks delicious, and it smells delicious too.
Absolutely. So you ready to eat?
Of course. I've been ready to eat since you told me what we were doing. So, for those of you at home that don't get to have the great pleasure of consuming this, where can we find you? If people want to get a hold of you, how could they do that?
Well, considering I own my own catering company, Kiss the Chef Catering, you can find me on Facebook at Kiss the Chef, and you can find me on Twitter at Kiss the Chef AZ.
Awesome. You guys will definitely have to check him out. So I really wish you guys could be here, but obviously you guys can't. I hope you guys enjoyed our session, and I hope to see you guys soon. This has been another series of ZURISADAI Television, the best of music, sports, entertainment, and fashion. Have a good night. Thank you to Chef Jason.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you fulfill one of my childhood dreams. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Let's take a bite. That is amazing. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.